Hey everybody, welcome to the LL Spring Sports Roundtable with Jason Garente, Brian Markley, Jeff Reinhardt here, LMP and Lancaster Online. Since we last spoke, we have flipped the calendar to May, and it's going to be pretty much playoffs all the time from here on out. Most of the sports are at the end of their regular season, LL playoffs and district playoffs right around the bend. One bracket is set, and that's the baseball bracket, and they get started on Thursday. Break it down for us.
Quarterfinals at the home fields of the section champions for the first round. Let's talk about the most interesting matchup in every league playoff is when the really good Section 4 team plays a really good Section 1 team. You get that big school, small school dynamic. So we have Northern Lebanon, 17-2, potential District 3 Class 4A champion. They have Ephrata coming to Fredericksburg.
Wow.
Really fun matchup. Adrian Gonzalez is the ace. He started 8 games for Northern Lebanon. He's won all 8. You have Connor Stoltz, who's one of the best hitters in the league, and Gonzalez bats leadoff. You have Riley Messinger in the middle of that. They're a really good hitting team. Ephrata comes with their Ephrata brand of baseball.
Yeah.
They get on base, they push the envelope on the base pass, they make you make mistakes. And Section 1 teams have trouble with that, and they see it all the time. I'm curious how Northern Lebanon handles, trying to score from second on a ground ball or trying to steal home straight up. That kind of stuff that Ephrata pulls and the bunts and all of that. Ephrata, it's Ethan Hunt and Ty Custer at the top of the lineup. They just score a million runs, and they get Ephrata the lead, and Cameron Sims is one of the best pitchers in the league. So the winner of that gets Lampeter Strasburg or Mannheim Central. LS won the Section 2 title. Central, Devin Aponte, by the way, LS's ace, could see him twice in 3 games if they get that far. Mannheim Central went 9-0 in the league, lost the finale to Donegal in a heartbreaker, so they end up as co-champs and they end up as the number 2 seed because of power rating, and now they got to play LS. So that was a tough stretch there for them. Otherwise, they would have been the section champs if they could have pulled that game out. They had the bases loaded in the last inning, couldn't get the tying run home. Other half of the bracket, Hempfield, you got to talk about Hempfield. They're 18-0. State champs, district champs. They haven't lost since this tournament last season when they lost in the final to Township. A loss, Mannheim Township's not in the field. They're the defending champs, but they're not defending. That loss sticks in Hempfield's craw. It bugs them because it's the only thing they didn't win last year. They have the best lineup in the league. I was going through their stats. They have a different leader in every category, and they just wear you out. So it's like they have 2 runs in the 4th inning, and then they drop 6 on you. And they've won games 17-14, 12-9, 10-9. So even when they don't pitch well, they're able to pull them out. They get Anvil Cleona, another one of those big school, small school.
Wow.
The Dutchmen, this is their last stand. It doesn't look like they're going to make districts. So if they want to keep their season alive, just go beat the undefeated state champions.
No problem.
Piece of cake. That's all you got to do. And the winner of that will get either Donegal or E-Town. Donegal, as I said before, won the Section 3 title, co-champs, but they have the higher seed. And E-Town comes to Mount Joy with Isaiah Shader, one of the best pitchers in the league. So that feels like a toss-up. I think the 2-3 crossovers are going to be great games and hard to predict. And then the 1-4 games will be fun because it's big school versus little school.
Which you never see until the playoffs.
Yep.
Do they sack bunt in high school?
All the time. All the time.
Really?
Yeah. They sack bunt with the intention of trying to beat it out for a hit, is what they do.
But they give themselves up, but try to get a hit.
Yeah, and they put pressure on the D because at this level you'll force a lot of mistakes, and that's kind of the game plan. Yeah.
Is there a pitching change every 15 seconds in high school?
You know what? You get 100,
and you're gone.
And if you have an ace, he usually goes 100, unless he doesn't have it. So,
Ethan Hunt of Mission Impossible fame?
Well,
what team's he on?
He's on Ephrata. He's a
Interesting.
Small leadoff hitter who is impossible to get out.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I guess that's why they call him that.
Exactly. Okay, let's rip through volleyball. Last week of the regular season in volleyball. Thursday's the last night. Here's where we're at. The 4 LL semifinalists are set. Section 2 champ Mannheim Central, Section 2 runner-up Cocalico. They're in. From Section 1, going into Thursday, Cedar Crest and Warwick are both 10-1. Falcons play E-Town, Warwick plays Hempfield. That's a tricky matchup. If Crest and Warwick tie, they would be co-champs, and then the 1 seed for the LL playoffs would come down to District 3 power rating. Right now, Warwick is number 2, Cedar Crest is number 4. So let it play out, see what happens Thursday. Tricky match for Warwick. They got to get Hempfield, which is good. I'll see you in Landisville for that match. I want to mention one stat guy, Dylan Musser, 4-year starter at Mannheim Central, setter, one of the best setter kids I've seen in 33 years of covering volleyball around here. Just went over 2,200 assists. 2,200 assists. Could you imagine 2,000 times he's put it there and they finished?
I can't even comprehend that.
That's unbelievable. He should get 2,500 assists in his career till he's done.
Isn't 1,000 the big number?
1,000 is like, wow, really? This kid's got 2,200, so that's amazing. So Barons, Eagles, Warriors, Falcons will be in the LL semis on Monday. That's at Mannheim Central, double dip starting at 5 o'clock. See you at the Derb. Okay, lax time. You want to start with the girls' side. There's some intrigue there.
Let's start with the girls' side.
Go.
On Monday night, Section 2 was decided. Elizabethtown beat Cocalico 12-9 to become co-champs. Cocalico and E-Town split the section. Danny Bruno, again, league's leading goal scorer. We've talked about her in a lot.
Yeah.
7 goals. You know, that's to be expected at this point. Ava Glick and Piper Patrick, great name, both had 2 goals as well for Elizabethtown. I want to give a shout out to Maya Ellis, the goalie as of last year. She's a senior. She joined the lacrosse team in her junior year.
Wow.
She had 10 saves, which in girls lacrosse in particular, you don't see that kind of performance, but she really stepped up big for the Bears. 10 saves, like I said. She's a very calm person in a very, very high stress position. So hats off to her. Cocalico's Sydney Campbell had 3 goals. Malia Van Zant, again, one of my favorite names, 2 of my favorite names in this matchup. And Izzy Rios, who 3-sport athlete, assist machine. They both had 2 goals as well. Cocalico's defense really did a nice job of keeping Callie Love Morris to she didn't score. She only had an assist. So Cocalico, they played a solid defense, but E-Town came out on top for that. Co-champs in Section 2. In Section 1, Township we've known that they are going to have that first spot. The second spot gets interesting.
Go.
Penn Manor and Hempfield. Hempfield holds a 1-game lead right now, but if Hempfield has to play Township tonight, and Penn Manor plays Cedar Crest. So if Penn Manor beats Cedar Crest, Hempfield loses, they'll be tied for second place, which would go to power rating.
Of course.
Power rating right now, Penn Manor sits at number 8, while as Hempfield's at number 4. So there's some potential there for some drama.
That's why they play the games.
Yes, this is why, and it's coming down to one of the last ones. So the LL semifinals begin Saturday. I think the girls are now at Cocalico. We've had some weird shifts in where these games are being played. The girls will start at Cocalico on Saturday morning, doubleheader, 10 a.m., noon. We know E-Town, Cocalico, and Township will be there. With that third spot yet is still a question mark, but we should know it very shortly.
Interesting. Okay, softball. Rain. It's probably raining right now. It's been raining for a month, so rainouts aplenty all over the place. So everything's been kind of pushed back a couple of days. As we tape Wednesday, this is the last day of LL softball, but the playoffs coming up here right around the corner. Real quick. Section 1, Penn Manor 8-1 out front, Warwick 7-2. Haley Kreider 396, 14 ribs for the Comets. She's playing well. Section 2, again, Solanco, what a spring they're having. 10-0. Section champs 18-1 overall. Their only loss was 1-0. They've scored 215 runs, most in the league. That's a lot of runs. LS 8-2, looks like they'll get second. Mackenzie Mackey, saw her at Media Day, 373, 3 home runs, 30 RBIs for LS. That's pretty good. Section 3, Northern Lebanon will win there. They're 9-0. Donegal at 8-2. Northern Lebanon's given up the fewest runs in the league, 36. Wow, that's pretty good. Donegal, I got to mention this kid, Jordan Myers. Wait till you hear these stats. 377 with 9 home runs and 46 RBIs. And she has 14 wins and 123 strikeouts in the circle. Jordan Myers, to have a season. Section 4, this is where there's intrigue. Looks like Catholic's going to win it. They're 9-1. Anvil Cleona, 7-2. Octorara, 7-2. Today, last day, Anvil Cleona at Octorara for the playoff spot. Interesting. That's a de facto playoff game. Ava Pisano from Catholic, 400, 6 bombs, 25 RPIs. That's pretty good. All right, track. The big meets are coming up. You're excited.
LL League championships are Friday and Saturday at Hempfield. 36 champions, 18 boys, 18 girls. Relays. Some kids will obviously win more than one championship. Will be crowned best weekend of the year in my estimation, because everyone in the league is there, and these gold medals mean a lot to these athletes. Let's talk records. LL meet records, not all-time records, but in this meet, 2 old-time boys records are in jeopardy. The 400, Eric Hiller ran 48.5. Nick Keller has a chance to take that down. That record stood since 1999. Wow. Keller has been under 48 seconds, so if he runs anything close to his best, like he did at Westchester last week, he will break that 26-year-old record. And the 4x8 relay, 750, Cocalico set that in 2000. Township has that amazing 4x8 relay team with Cole Stevens, Ethan Peffley, Andrew Kemper, and Adam Kingston. They've gone 740. They've gone 10 seconds better than that. So if they put their A team together and they run it, they could break that record. All the distance and mid-distance boys records are within reach for those boys that I mentioned. It depends what they run. You never know how the lineup will set up, and you try to manage workloads because you want to get the most team points possible. But there's a chance we could see another record fall in the distance or mid-distance. On the girls' side, it's a little different because some of the greatest athletes in league history are still competing, right?
Seriously, they are.
I mean, Cadell Howard already owns 2 records in the 200 and 400, and Eliana Schneider already owns the javelin record, and they're coming back for only their junior season. So the records are really up there for the girls because we've had this incredible class come through. The one I'm watching is the 800. Vivian Salerno, McCaskey freshman, ran 2:10, which for a freshman is insane. It's 5 seconds better than any other freshman in the state.
Wow.
The LL meet record is 2:14, so if she wins that, she will also continue McCaskey's dominance in this event. They won it the 4 previous years with Isabella Schertzer, so this would be 5 in a row for McCaskey in the 800. Oleana Orovitz at Solanco and McKenna Haas at Elko have a chance for the long jump and triple jump records if they have their best day, if the weather is cooperative, if all of that falls into place. And of course, McCaskey's 400 relay already owns the league record, so they could set the league meet record. It's a great day. It's the greatest athletes in the league all in one place, and everyone's a champion who wins, so it's fun to watch.
I think if you just go hang out at the girls throwing events.
Oh yeah, we didn't even
they're going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, we didn't even get into the throws where you have 2 state champions in the discus, a state champion in the shot. You got Lacey Nelson from Mannheim Central. You got Genesis Castro, you got Margaret Bila, just incredible talent on the girls' side.
Bring a lawn chair and just park it.
Problem with that is if you sit there, you miss like 6 things on the track.
I saw the words Cadell Howard injury in the same sentence the other day.
Oh, I haven't heard.
You haven't heard that?
No.
I think she pulled out of a meet the other day. I'm not sure.
It's all about preparing and getting onto the track for this event.
Meets.
Let's hope she's there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Okay, tennis. We're in districts in tennis. District 3 team tournament as we speak is ongoing. AAA semifinals today, Wednesday. Mannheim Township plays Dallastown. Lancaster Country Day plays Hempfield in an all-LL match. All 4 of those teams will go to states, regardless of wins and losses today. So 3 LL teams will be moving on to states for the team tournament. In 2A, also Wednesday, 1 LL still alive, Pequay Valley. They have to play YO. YO is like really good. They're the 1 seed. Conrad Weiser plays East Pennsboro in the other semi. Only the top 3 there go to states. So Pequay needs to win a match here to go to states. Singles was last week. AAA, Zach Kuiper, LL champ, made it to the final in AAA. He lost. So he got 2nd place, silver medal for Kuiper. Michael Georgilis from Lancaster Country Day, AAA Lancaster Country Day, finished 3rd, and he will go to states. So Kuiper and Georgilis through to states. Nobody in 2A made states out of the LL. District 3 doubles are next. That starts Friday at Hershey Racket Club. AAA, the 1 seed, Cooper Lehman and Braylon Garcia from Hempfield. Lehman did not do singles. He chose doubles.
Wow.
We'll see if he can get a title with Braylon Garcia, who's a freshman. So still doing tennis. Last week of district stuff. All right, we will wrap it up with boys lacrosse.
All right.
Fire away.
The boys' side, a little more set in stone LL playoff-wise than the girls' side. There are a few teams that are still sitting on the district bubble. But let's start with the LL bracket. again, Manheim Township, they finished 1 in Section 1. Penn Manor grabbed the 2nd seed in Section 1. Section 2, the Lampeter Strasburg Pioneers, another strong season for them. Top spot in Section 2. And then Cocalico, 2nd spot in Section 2. So these brackets, the boys and girls, are eerily similar. But
They usually are they not?
It's usually that 4th team that's a little different. This year it's Penn Manor. Other side it could be Penn Manor or Hempfield. Anyway, let's talk about some of the matchups that are starting Saturday as well. 10 a.m. at Ephrata is going to be Township against Cocalico. That will have two of the highest, the two league leading goal scorers will be going against each other in that game. Simon Bowen for Manheim Township, the current league leader in goals with 54, will be going against Cocalico's Brady Gallagher, who has 51 currently. That could change today. Both teams do play today. Section 1 finishes up play today, but they'll be going against each other. An interesting note here is Cocalico has the best goal differential of the 4 teams in the league playoff. They have a goal differential, the best goal differential. Now that could be skewed because Township always plays better non-league opponents, so there's a potential for that. But these two teams haven't seen each other this year, so you know, I won't say it's a foregone conclusion. I think it's, you know, Cocalico is very well coached, and we know what Township is. Going on to the second matchup, I think is the more interesting matchup, as you know, a Penn Manor grad from a few years ago, but Penn Manor and LS. It's one of I think is the best. It's the backyard bash. It's the best section rivalry, I think. LS has only 2 losses this year. One of them is to Penn Manor. That game finished, I believe, 9-6 in early April. The thing to keep an eye on for Penn Manor, I think, and if they're going to win this game, is going to be their goalie, Joe Hull. He had 14 saves, I think, in that first game that they played. He had 22, I think, against Township. Penn Manor needs to play a complete game if they want to stay in it, or else LS is going to probably run away with it. But it's going to be interesting for sure, and I'm interested to see how that goes. I'm sure LS would like some revenge after the last one, but that's what the boys' side's looking like. There's some CV plays Ephrata tonight. They have a chance of maybe sneaking in districts. Ephrata's kind of on the edge of the different district spots, so there's still some movers and shakers here as the season winds down.
Danny Bruno laughs at those 54 goals.
Yeah,
what did she have, 100 and something?
Yeah, she passed 120, but it's 2 different sports. Different sports.
It is. Yeah, it really is.
When you put it that way, it is kind of bonkers that is the number. But
okay, yeah. Enjoy the Lax finals. For the good of the order, anything, Jace.
Lampeter Strasburg, Chase Smucker, all-state in boys basketball. Yes. He was the only LL kid recognized. He's LS's all-time leading scorer.
There you go.
Going to Bloomsburg.
There you go. Anything good of the order?
Nope.
No. Do I have anything? The spring All-Star football games are coming up. They start like next week. East, West, LL, Tri-County, and Big 33.
Jeff, it's only May.
I know. But
football never sleeps.
It doesn't. So stay tuned for some football coverage, y'all. Okay, that's the LL Spring Sports Roundtable. Enjoy the playoffs. Hopefully it stops raining and everything gets played here coming up. And we'll catch you back here next week. For Jason and Brian, I'm Jeff. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.